We're doing it.
Okay, we're on.
What's up? Welcome to Two Hats and a Chat, where Jerry and I talk about all things tech, hacks, and cyber attacks.
And other things not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Wilkes Community College.
In Wilkesboro.
Yep. And I'm Randall.
And I'm or Jerry.
You're Jerry. Yeah, because I was I.
Oh, I want to be
And now you're Jerry.
Oh, I'm Jerry. Oh, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
I want to be better next time.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been, well,
Yeah.
I think technically this is the quickest we've done an episode in a turnaround.
Okay, yeah, it was 2 weeks, and now it's only been a week and a half.
Now it's only been about
Yeah.
a week and a half.
And we had the 4th of July.
Happy
that threw
4th
things
of
off.
July.
Woohoo!
250 years
Or so they say.
since some dude signed a thing that said,
A thing.
we're not going to take it.
Actually, it said multiple things.
It said a lot of stuff.
It said many
Have
things.
you actually read the complete Declaration
I
of
mean,
Independence?
recently, no, but when I was in high school, I was actually in a AP government class that we. Oh, this is going to be a completely different tangent, but we were competing in, at that point in time, I graduated high school in the 80s, and yeah, I'm old, but that was like the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution. So their AP government classes throughout the country were in, I don't remember what it was called now, but some kind of debate thing that they competed. And yeah, we finished second in our state, which was, on one hand, cool. On the other hand, the team that finished first was judged by different judges.
Oh.
Weird. But anyway, so yeah, your question, have I ever read the Declaration of Independence? Yeah, I had to for that, as well as the whole Constitution for that. My group's part of that debate was history. So predominantly, the most famous question I remember from the debate was we were asked, which version of government do you think is most democratic and why? The one established by the Founding Fathers or the parliamentary system that they left? And
interesting.
yeah.
Democratic. That's an interesting word. Because technically,
not Democrat, Republican kind of thing.
Definitely a republic, right? So
yeah. So that's kind of where it goes. It's like, well, if we're really going to look at these with that kind of terminology. Anyway, that was eons ago. Good God. That's forever ago.
I can't say that I have though. I don't. Well, maybe we did, but I don't. I don't remember reading the whole thing.
Oh, I have a spam risk. Should I just go ahead and put this on? Oh, we should do this live. Who is calling me? Let's see who's calling me. Hello, will you talk to me? Okay, that was fun.
It was a risk of spam, and
I thought I was gonna be able to talk to, I don't know, somebody is like, hey, yeah, I got a spammer calling me. Let's go live.
All right, here we go.
Hello, caller, you're on the air.
We actually have a guest. You just didn't know.
Yeah, you push your button over there, caller. You are on the air.
You're on the. Well,
go for Jerry.
That button could have just turned everything off. I have no idea.
No, we're still going over there. We're good.
All right, great.
Okay.
Yes, fantastic. Well, also, I had a student talk to us about they're going to make us an intro song, which I thought was pretty cool.
You mean more than just bum 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 bum?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were asking, what's the mood you're going for? And I was like, I don't know. So I just looked up. I was like, hey, what's interesting, cool podcast stuff? And obviously the AI was asking me like, hey, Isaiah just stopped listening because I said AI, but whatever. It asked.
He will be the first in the comments.
It said, what is your podcast about? And I was like, yeah, we talk tech and interesting cyber attack stuff.
And not tech.
And so it was like, oh, there's something called synthwave, and it said chiptune. And once I saw that, I was like, I didn't even think about that. That's some pretty cool stuff. And so I said, let's do chiptune. And he's like, okay.
Sure.
Do you have anything in mind that goes with that? And the first thing that popped in my head was just the intro to Donkey Kong Country. That song. And I was like, here, try to do that.
I mean, that's better than me. I was stuck on Rescue Rangers.
Oh, yeah, Rescue Rangers. So that's what I thought. I was like, so maybe in a week or two we'll have an intro song without any graphics, and we'll just be staring at each other while it's playing for some reason.
Maybe we'll sing along.
There's not any,
I
there's
doubt
not
it,
any
but
lyrics,
maybe.
but
That means we can change them every week.
yeah, well, that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, there's exciting things happening there.
There are.
I'm excited.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for the not audio, the other word, graphics.
Oh yeah.
So that we have the graphic that's going to be a nice little bar between us.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be pretty
I
cool.
mean, I could do that. I'm too lazy.
Well, so back to my statement. I can't wait till we have the graphic.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah. Plus, I think it's actually kind of cool when you allow. I think the true reason is I don't really want to take away that opportunity from a student that is interested. So, like when the semester starts rolling again, there might be a graphic design student that's interested, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna tell people Bethany and
Amber?
Amber,
Woohoo.
of
There we go,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just,
Seeing if I knew.
Yeah, I was just thinking of you. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm gonna, ask them and be like, "Hey, is anybody interested in making some graphics and stuff?" It could turn into an assignment for them. I don't know.
I mean, if we're actually closer to the spring semester, it could be in their capstone class
Oh yeah,
because
right.
their capstone students have to do a whole-on graphic ensemble.
Ooh, maybe it will take that long.
Well, maybe they can do one assignment maybe in their Illustrator class or something,
Do they?
and we can pick the one we like.
If they animate,
Oh, that's
I don't
getting
know.
crazy now.
do they animate in graphic design up there?
Yeah, actually they should,
Hmm.
but I know they've got the digital media DME video production class.
Okay.
So I mean,
I remember using After Effects, and I made some stuff.
yeah, I don't think they cover After Effects. I think it's predominantly Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't think they do Fireworks at all. I think that's what it's called. And it seems like Adobe has something else too,
Hmm.
aside from After Effects. I don't remember.
For
been a while.
like creating graphics and things like that.
Yeah. Animation specific. Animate.
Animate.
Yeah, I think Adobe has an Animate. If I had a signal in here, I would check. I don't, so I won't.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a bad person.
No, we don't have to know everything.
I don't remember my Adobe products that well. No.
Yeah, I just remember using After Effects probably 8 years ago.
Probably.
I remember when we had our capstone for game development,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm gonna make an intro for another thing I was doing, and then
Yeah.
it was kind of cool because it said starting soon, and then I actually timed it fairly well to. It would type up, so it was typing starting soon,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would start backspacing, and I actually got the timing pretty good to where it would backspace a little bit and then speed up to the end, and then it would just restart and do starting soon again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it actually looked pretty good. I wish that I still had that file because
I wish I could say I remember it.
I would work on it. Yeah, it's all right. that you don't
This is
remember.
not a good Jerry day.
Look, I didn't remember. No, I remembered a name. I was just testing if you remembered the name. It's just, it's interesting because normally we like to talk on Fridays, and
Yes.
and on those days I haven't spoken at all hardly.
Yeah, I haven't used my words because it's in the morning, and I haven't used my words, and now we're in the afternoon. I'm like, I've used my
Yeah,
words, man.
exactly. Yeah, it's after I've taught 2 classes. You
Uh-huh.
taught a class today, and I'm just like, man, I might be at my word limit by the
Yep.
end of this. I'm going to go home, and then
Yeah, we're
be
both gonna go home
silence.
and get in trouble with others because they're gonna be like, so let's talk. It's
Yeah.
like,
I already did that. Can't,
Yeah, I got
can't
no
talk
words left.
anymore.
yeah. I forget how many words women use a day. 20,000, 30,000. Men use like 5.
Really?
No. I think men use like 5 or 10,000 a day.
Oh wow.
Somebody look that up for me.
Yeah, I hadn't
Get
pinpointed
in the
it.
comments. Let me know.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea.
There's actually a number. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's men and women are differentiated by like tens of thousands.
I remember you telling me there was a word limit many moons ago, and that's when
Yeah.
I first noticed that it might be a thing. But I didn't even think that it was different. But now that you mention it, I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, that makes a lot of
There's
sense.
studies that say it's different. Speaking of animate, just kind of makes me think of anime.
Oh yeah,
And you were telling me something about anime earlier that apparently people still watch it.
right. Yeah. So this morning
That was a
on
horrible
one of my
lead-in, wasn't it? People
Dude,
still
just
watch it? What?
yeah. So people still watch anime. Yeah, it's pretty popular. I didn't know though that there was like a Bandai specific anime subscription site that you could use,
You mean like Crunchyroll,
kind of like Crunchyroll. Yeah,
but just Bandai specific?
but I think so. There was one called, oh gosh, I don't know the name of it. It's Bandai specific, so I'm assuming it's like Bandai Namco lined up. But either way, apparently there was this young man, I think is what it was saying, that wanted to watch anime on that website, and you have to have an account for it apparently. He didn't have an account, so he used ChatGPT to help him essentially break in and get some folks accounts, and it surprisingly actually helped him do that. And I think I read something like 41 to 42,000 accounts are now vulnerable to that. And when asked, there was nothing more malicious than, I just wanted to watch some anime. So
Wow.
nothing really came more than that. Than they just wanted to watch anime, and I'm actually surprised that ChatGPT actually helped them do it, because there's a lot of safeguards on it.
They're supposed to be, but we all know that you can word your questions special ways.
Right.
But it does tie into what we were talking about last week or last time
Mhm.
about build your own AI models, and those
Yeah.
safeguards aren't there. But he was using ChatGPT, so
Yeah, it specifically mentioned ChatGPT, which is kind of like, wow, I'm surprised it actually led them to it.
I mean,
It didn't say what version they were using of ChatGPT though, and it didn't mention obviously specifically how he did it.
Gee, they won't give us the prompts. I am so disappointed.
Yeah.
I want to watch some anime too.
I mean, exactly. Like, I had an old Crunchyroll account. Like,
I have my son's Crunchyroll account.
it was like a decade ago, but I think now you can't really watch a lot of free stuff on there or something. I'm not sure. I
don't
never
know.
paid
I
for
actually
it.
haven't been on Crunchyroll in a while. Yeah, I was going to go off on about the last one I watched, but I was like, yeah, who cares?
I do. What was it?
Oh, it was a rom-com that the wife and I watched. What was it called? More Than a Married Couple, but Not Yet Friends? Crazy premise. I mean, anime crazy premise. I know those don't go together at all. But apparently, in this particular anime, which was really well done, the whole thing is they're all high school students, and they have to learn what it is like to be a married couple. So they actually have to live together as part of their assignment.
What?
I was like, okay.
Hey, the title makes sense now.
Yeah, so
Before they're friends, they have to figure out how to be married.
the two that it's about actually like really don't like each other. Obviously, by the end, they do like each other. So it's an interesting. It was actually a well done, interesting emotional journey that somebody will probably say, "Wow, Jerry, no, didn't like it." But
Oh wow, yeah. I'm not much of a slice of life enjoyer.
that's what the wife and I watched. The
Yeah.
slice of life, the coming of age, the rom-com, that whole genre.
Right.
That's ours.
I like Dragon Ball Z
We've done that one.
and JoJo's
Some
Bizarre
One Piece.
Adventure. I used to watch a little bit of One Piece, but it was only when it came on like Toonami.
Well, I mean, that's one way to watch
like
it.
that sort of deal. Like I never really went out of my way to keep a pace on it. I've heard there's like way too many episodes now.
I think there's about 1.5 million. I mean, give or take a few, but yeah, I think there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of those. But it is interesting that you bring that up because a lot of the nefarious, I'm going to put that in quotes, things that I once upon a time did was solely based on that. I wanted access to something. I wanted a game, or I wanted to call my friends without paying long distance back. Dating myself again, but back when there were long distance fees and all that. So
the Captain Crunch.
I'm not quite that old, but yeah, it's yeah, related to that. They had long distance codes that could be leveraged. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't, the whole point wasn't to steal credit cards. It was, I want
this thing.
I want to play this game, or I want to, get on this BBS that, before people were on the internet, we were on BBSs, and I want to call this BBS that's out in California, without paying $5 a minute or whatever absurd fee it would have been.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, we kind of view, I think Hollywood has really, and I could be way off, but I feel like Hollywood has really presented the whole hacker community as, oh, they want to do all these nefarious things. When for the most part, it's like, nah, just kind of want to play a game. Yeah. War Games, if you've ever seen that was actually the whole premise of it. He just wanted to play a game.
Exactly, yeah.
And happened to talk to NORAD about, global thermonuclear warfare, I think it was, or something like that, and played a game.
And then you have, like, older movies, like in the 90s, like Hackers.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Was that closer to what you did, like the dial tone that he did on the phone to be able to call?
Yeah.
Just
a lot
played
of dial
it.
tone stuff. Yeah, and War Games, I think was Matthew Broderick, I think. Anyway, one of the things that he was doing in that movie was war dialing, where he would just put his computer on, and while he was at school, it's just going to dial, like 555 0000 555 0001, and then at the end of the day, you come home from school and you have a list of potential computer things that answered. And yeah, we did that. There was a group of 4 of us that we did that, and then you call them and you find out what they are, and like one of them ended up being a newspaper in the city, so could read like the articles the next before they, and it's one of those things like, gee, that's what you did.
It's pretty cool though.
Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, while you're at school, why not?
And then that would transition into war driving in the early 2000s, where you have a laptop and you drive around your town and you find open wireless networks.
Oh yeah, with the Pringles can.
Yeah.
You're a little ingenuitive with that.
Yeah. I did a fair amount of war driving at that time period too, for some other reasons, but and it's just kind of keep transitioning to these different versions of war things, where you're just spamming trying to find stuff. And yeah, the whole point, I guess, is that so many people are not actually after the nefarious things.
Just curiosity.
Yeah. Just want to watch some anime.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I just want my anime.
But who's the mother of just, I kind of want it. Just kind of want it.
Necessity. More so.
Yeah.
Necessity coupled with curiosity.
Yeah.
And maybe time on your hands.
A lot of time, yeah. Man, that's, gosh. We could probably talk forever about that. I really think that was a really neat time in just technology.
I think that if you look at like each era, they have their own uniqueness. And I do think that the 80s, 90s have kind of been glamorized a little bit.
Like a Wild West.
Yeah, which is okay with me because, that was my time, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I can remember when I was doing stuff and like trying to learn from people, and they'd be talking about, oh, well, back in my day when I had to do this electronic or that electronic, it's like, what? You did what? It was like stupid things. When I was running a BBS, my own BBS, my modem did not recognize if there was a dial or a ringtone, not a ringtone, a call coming in. It didn't recognize a ringer. So I had to build a ring detector, which basically just detected voltage on the line.
Right.
And then that would trigger my modem and be like, hey, dude, get the phone. And that's, a lot of stuff was like that. And But now, and it's like, oh man, that was so cool back then. Yeah, look at the stuff people are doing now. Raspberry Pis, pie holes, all this other stuff. It's like, this is solving a problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the problem? Man, I wish I didn't have to watch so many ads.
Right.
Build a pie hole. Boop.
Man, I want to watch anime.
ChatGPT. How can I?
I'm trying to watch some anime on this site. What can I do?
Bandai has my favorite slice of life. How ChatGPT.
Yeah,
how can I watch it?
I need to figure out how to marry someone before ever liking them as a friend.
I mean, the whole premise of the show is, I'm going to go ahead and just like, a little creepy. Maybe that's not a successful.
It was age appropriate for the characters.
To force high school students to live together. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
I'm just saying.
I'm just going to be really brave on this one and say that no. That is.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't want that to happen with my kids.
I don't think I could even do an assignment with my college students. Where did they get the house?
Where did they get the housing?
I don't know. They I think they all lived in the same apartment. I don't know. I don't remember that part. That was the first episode.
Oh, okay.
The first episode, you're being introduced to all these people who have the same hair and the one guy who has the blonde hair. Your typical slice of life characters.
Yeah, okay.
All these names are being thrown at you, and you're like, yeah, don't remember anything.
Doesn't matter where they got a house.
No,
it's
who
just
cares?
They're living there
I
now.
think the teacher gave them keys.
Oh,
maybe the teacher pays for it. I don't know. Maybe this is a whole different episode on human trafficking. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad we keep it light around here.
Yeah. It was a really good anime that maybe the premise is.
Yeah. It'd be hard to replicate in real life because it's kind of weird.
But I mean, of course, the premise of One Piece is, completely realistic too.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
So therefore,
it's a guy just Hey, he just wants to be the best pirate, apparently.
Well, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Is that not the premise of One Piece?
Well, yeah, and then they have what is it?
There's
the fruit, the
devil
fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that much.
Because devil fruit's a real thing.
And when you eat it, you get some sort of power.
You get some weird power. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that helps you get the One Piece.
Or not. Maybe it just makes you a really good cook.
Is that somebody's power?
I don't think. No, I think he's a good cook, but I don't think it's because of that.
No reason.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
What else has been going on? So that was the anime thing.
Yeah. Oh, I read an article this morning. Actually, it doesn't matter when I read it, does it? There was a group that. What were they called? Let me try to be competent here for a second. What was this group called? Scattered Spider. The name itself.
That is a cool name.
Yeah. Anyway, this group, the FBI captured one of the people, had him extradited from Finland. The way they caught him is really interesting.
Do tell.
I'm going to tell a little bit of it, but I haven't done a deep dive on it. So, but apparently, for those of you who are Microsoft Windows users, I'll stare at you guys.
Not me.
But yeah, if you are running Microsoft Windows, you have a globally unique Windows identifier that you can access. I should have written this down. I apologize. But you can access. Go to the start button about this computer, and you can get your globally unique identifier. I think it sounds like it's similar to a MAC address in some ways. But if you reinstall Windows, you'll get a new one. So anyway, when you install Windows, you get this identifier. And that identifier would crop up on various websites at the time that this organization was doing things. And so they were able to trace that particular identifier to a specific 19-year-old individual in Finland.
Interesting.
And he has been extradited and is facing charges here in the United States.
Should have never used Windows.
That was my first thought was Windows.
Got him.
Yeah.
So it's like even that kind of opens up a whole box of questions in my mind. Like, what kind of more insight? So who? So I got a little confused. They extradited him from Finland
Yeah.
to somewhere
To the United States.
to the United States.
Yeah. He's
so,
facing charges here.
So who used that information to bring him here? It was the U.S.
Yeah, the FBI.
Oh wow.
Correct. Yeah.
The FBI.
And so because it's a Microsoft identifier, it's associated with an account.
Right.
So that's why it's like, oh, we can tell you it's this person. A little bit different from a MAC address, which is associated with a device.
Right.
But I mean, I can't say, oh, this is, if you give me a MAC address, I can't go look it up and say, oh, that's Randall's MAC address.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a.
I mean, I can say, oh, that's a Dell.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't know which.
Or that's like a
specific Dell.
MicroStar or whatever.
Or, hey, that's an Apple, but I don't know which specific one. But obviously, I can use that for my investigation process. But if you have a Windows identifier, that's associated with the account.
And it's like it's tied to an account.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, he decided to use a real name with that account. Maybe like he had to have a real name to it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that I don't know if he's running virtual machines at all. I'm kind of starting to think maybe not.
Interesting.
But, yeah, I don't. The whole gamut of VPNs, proxies, VMs. I'm starting to wonder what was going on. The FBI obviously hasn't said, well, this is how we did it.
Right.
Just that the Microsoft identifier was involved. So I don't know the whole story, but apparently they were able to associate this ID with access to his Snapchat account, access to his Facebook account, access to one of the tools that they used, ngrok. ngrok. So this ID was accessing ngrok a minute or so around the time that ngrok was being deployed during their attack.
Oh my gosh!
So they're able to that kind of association.
They literally got web crawled.
Yeah, it's very very circumstantial.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's very.
I mean, it seems like the due diligence was done when they're like, oh, okay, here's this user with this account. This account is attached to this. Here's other stuff that they're doing during that time.
Yeah.
And we know it was them. Did it mention what it was called? Scattered Spider, right?
Scattered Spider is the organization. Mentioned that they're scattered.
Right.
Odd.
Yeah.
That they really don't have a centralized leadership, so it's really a bunch of individual cells.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look into them too much further than that. They don't appear to be a nation state actor.
Right. So he's more or less being just on that group, but not necessarily wasn't doing something specifically for them during this time.
Well, no. No, he was doing something very specific. Basically, they had gained access to high-end jewelry stores or jewelry systems and were wanting to ransomware them. However, the security people who were watching those networks detected them and kicked them out of the network before the ransomware could be deployed. But they did pull, I believe it was 77 gigs of data before they got kicked. That they bounced it to an AWS server, I think it was. And so they didn't get to do their ransomware, but they had all this data. And they contacted the jewelry company. I'd have to, I'm a little fuzzy on some of it because I didn't read it too closely. But they contacted that company and said, hey, look, we can't ransomware you, obviously, but we did steal your data. We want $8 million in cryptocurrency. And the company was like, nah, we're good, thanks. They paid $2 million to clean the whole thing up, but that's not $8 million. So yeah, that whole thing and the tools used is where the Microsoft ID comes in.
Wow.
So that they were able to associate that particular device. I mean, it's not just that particular account, but it's each install of Windows has a globally unique identifier. So it's that
down
device
to that device.
yeah. So able to really do that.
Wow.
And it's interesting as well, kind of going on with that, one of the things we talked about last week was authentication.
The certificates.
Yeah, and how Scattered Spider actually got into the network to begin with. You're gonna love this. What they did was they spun up some Google voice over internet phones, and they called the help desk, and they were like, "Dude, I don't remember my password. Can you help me?" And the help desk would reset their password for them, and then they're like, "Oh, I've lost my phone. I'm gonna need. Can I have the MFA sent over to my new device?"
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the help desk like did that for them.
Got them in.
Yeah. So I mean, wow.
They did not check that they were who that they said they were.
They did not verify. So trust but verify. They didn't do that. They didn't authenticate. They didn't authorize. They didn't.
Account.
They
I mean, they did account.
yeah. Well, the FBI did the accounting by tracking the Microsoft ID. The help desk didn't do anything.
Right, yeah.
They missed it all. But like when we do our cybersecurity training every year, one of the things that always pops up in one of those questions that we have to answer is, oh, your boss, your supervisor has asked you for something. What should you do? And one of the answers is to call a number is their phone number and verify this.
Right.
So the help desk didn't do that. And it's really easy to be like, oh, help desk, we should fire them all or whatever. It's like, well, they're probably enormously understaffed.
Right.
Enormously overworked. How many other calls were they managing at this time?
Especially since it was like a Google VoIP thing, you can just repeat that process.
Yeah, you can just keep going. And the article didn't say anything about whether they were using any kind of AI technology for voice synthesizing.
Yeah, right.
I want to say synthecation, but I don't think that's a word.
Not that I've heard.
Okay, so they're using voice synthecation. It is
Right.
now a word.
I like synthecation.
Yes.
Synthesis authentication.
Something like that. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that would actually probably be a pretty good idea to do.
Synthecation.
Some sort of like, is there voice synthesis being used on this thing, so they can like authenticate that there isn't voice synthesis.
I mean, that would be interesting. I'm currently working on training one of my models on my home network to do voices.
Oh wow!
Just because.
Which voices are you using to train it?
Well, I'll let you know if it fools anybody.
Oh boy!
I don't think I'm going to put that out there and then.
It's going to watch our videos a ton.
I mean, it's going to start off just being mine,
right?
Because I want to have it read the syllabus in class.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's. I wanted to do that with Copilot. Copilot was kind of like, I'm not really user friendly in that kind of way.
Yeah.
So, roll your own, make it do what you want. So I'm trying to train it to do my voice so I can have it hopefully read the syllabus for me.
That's cool.
So day one of my semester won't even be me.
Yeah, you won't even be there.
I may not.
Just
actually, Joe, I will be there.
Yeah, he'll definitely be there. It's definitely not like a dummy with your hat and jacket on. It's just they're like, "Wow, Jerry, it's really dark in here." And it just answers them.
We watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit over the weekend, and as soon as you say that, I think of Roger popping up between the getting the hat and the trench coat and the square jaw.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love that movie.
Yeah. My wife's son had never seen it, so we watched it with them.
Good old Eddie Valiant.
Yeah.
The man.
Before he played Mario in the original Super Mario Bros.
Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good movies.
We actually watched that movie before the summer. I watched that movie with my kids, and then my boss was like, "Is there any foul language in that movie?" And I was like, "I don't remember any."
It's Mario.
There is some in there.
Yeah, there is a little.
I did not remember it. I remember watching it when I was a kid and not thinking anything of it.
No, the elevator scene when they get going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, good movies.
Yeah, and it has my my crush when I was a kid. I thought Jessica Rabbit was the bee's knees.
I mean, I think everybody did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's yeah.
It's pretty cool. Speaking of anime, that's probably spun off a lot of crazy stuff. Just that animation quality is really good in that movie.
Mhm.
The guy that animated it, he's the guy who wrote the animator's survival kit. that
Oh,
book.
really?
Yep, he's
Okay.
the one who wrote that.
I remember looking at that book once.
Yeah.
That's a
I've got it in my office.
that's a book. That's
It's
a tome.
It is a tome.
Yeah.
It's really good and applicable to even 3D animation. So I remember getting that book and it mentioned that he did Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I was like, gosh, this guy's good.
Need to find him and get him to sign the book.
I know. Is he still alive?
I don't know if you're out there. Email Randall.
Yeah, you're definitely going to watch our videos. So
You never know. I mean,
you actually don't.
I now have you checked? Are we still in double digits?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Holding
Yeah, I'm
strong.
pretty happy about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe this video, you never know.
I kind
He'll
of.
watch it and then he'll email me and be like, "Yeah, I can sign your animator survival kit."
Maybe.
I think it's actually called the survival kit, animator survival kit, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Could be. Yeah.
the animation quality is really good, and that's hard to do. It's for both the actors and the animators to make it be like this thing is in the world with you.
Mm-hmm.
Treat it like it's real, and that was kind of like I want to say it was kind of a popular thing to do about that time because you had like Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, you had the Pete and the Dragon or whatever.
Pete's Dragon. My
Pete's
wife loves that
Dragon.
one. Mhm.
And it's funny because it actually is kind of current. The Wile E. Coyote movie, or like Acme versus Coyote,
Mhm.
they're apparently actually going to bring it to theaters.
And Space Jam.
Oh, Space Jam.
Of course, that's not really same time period, but
yeah,
yeah, and you see it not only in those, but in the current CGI, which is the same basic concept. Hey,
Mhm.
there's a thing here.
yeah. And sometimes they cover like a real world thing with green.
Yeah, green screen.
And then
yeah.
they're like, yeah, this thing is next to you and real. So it's just cool. Animators, man, they work hard.
Yeah, I think it also ties into the like what we were talking about earlier as far as having a need to do something
Right.
and you solve the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
necessity.
I want it to look like this magical thing is happening. How do we do that? And
Yep.
I've also it's weird too. I must have gotten my algorithm on social media to show me some cool stuff because it showed me, I forgot what movie it was, but it was a movie in the 1920s and it was explaining how they did a special effect because I'm a big fan of like practical effects and things of that
okay,
time.
yeah.
So like the old Twilight Zones, old Star Trek, I love watching those just to see those practical effects. And it was talking about like, gosh, what was it? It was a movie that had Mephisto in it and they were flying above a city and it was like, this is how they did it.
Okay, yeah.
They did all this special like camera tricks and like
Oh,
a
yeah.
miniature city, and
Yeah.
there was obviously like a fan blowing, and then it's like, wow. And then there was a video I watched about how they made the tornado in the Wizard of Oz with Dorothy. There was like I don't know, I can't remember how tall it was, like 30 to 50 foot tall cylinder that they had in a room covered in cloth, and that's why the tornado looks so good, is because it was like actually rotating.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had the actress that played Dorothy kind of like run towards this house.
Judy Garland?
Yeah, I think that's it, Judy Garland. Yeah. And then the asbestos and for the snow and all that, but still, like, the tornado was like, it looked amazing. I remember even being a kid and being like, wow, that's terrifying. Like it looked so real.
The flying monkeys were scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary.
Yeah, it was a tough movie.
Yeah. I remember one time there was this, my Nana was going to take my sister and I up to Boone to see this, to walk like a Wizard of Oz trail. And I remember just being terrified. I was like, they're gonna be those monkeys? And she's like, maybe, but it's gonna be okay. I was at the time when I was a little kid, I was really scared of like
Mhm.
costumes and stuff for some reason.
Clowns.
Like not clowns. That
No.
was okay with that. It was people in costumes, and I knew that they were in a costume. I just didn't like it. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. I have weird fears, or did. And
That is an
anyways,
interesting one.
yeah, and people walking around in these fur suits or whatever, they kind of freak me out. Anyways, there was like a trail that you walk through for the Wizard of Oz,
Mhm.
right? And I was just so scared. And she's like, yeah, there's going to be like trees and they throw apples and stuff. I was like, you're really talking me out of this thing, Nana. This is scary. And I remember one of her friends came up from maybe Florida or something and was going to
Right.
go with us. And by the time we got to Boone, it was just so foggy you couldn't see anything. And I was just like, phew, we can't even do it, Nana. We got to go home.
Oh, too bad.
Oh, that stinks. And I remember us stopping at the Wendy's up there on that cross
Yeah.
section and
Yeah.
coming back home. Gosh, I was terrified. Gosh.
And yet you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I
That's good.
would have, now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm like, man, that does sound like that would have been a lot of fun. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
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 Good memories.
Happens. Yeah.
I love that. So yeah. The anime thing kind of caught me off guard this morning. But there has been a lot of crazy hacks and cyber attacks that's going on in social media and a lot of events happening. And one that I keep thinking of recently was the Nintendo hack in like 2020 around there sometime. I can't remember when, but Nintendo got hacked and a lot of their game files got taken.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh no, can't believe that happened to Nintendo. But a lot of that is coming to fruition to kind of be interesting. I'm not going to say a good thing.
But you kind of are.
It's kind of good for me. If you like playing Nintendo games, it's kind of good because folks have taken those files and they've decompiled them. So like, let's say Ocarina of Time, for instance. So Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time came out in 1998,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And they decompiled it and made it into a computer PC port.
Right.
So you can play it. You can play Legend
Without
of Zelda
an emulator.
without an emulator,
Right.
natively on PC, and it's insane to see like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and all those old games that I grew up loving and playing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in ultra wide, just running natively on a computer. It's cool. Like it's I guess it's not good to say all good things can come from these hacks, but when at the time, well, not at the time, but sometimes, and we've talked about this before, companies are not going to ever re-release some things.
Correct.
So there's some games I'm sure that were on that list that got stolen that they were probably never going to resell or have a subscription out there for you to play again or anything like that.
Mhm.
And it's almost like you're preserving history. You're preserving
Right.
things like that. And to me, that's kind of like a good thing because, like, growing up playing these games, I'm like, this to me, like Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3, those games to me are kind of like if you were to walk through and see the Mona Lisa or see, some sort of Civil War artifact in the Smithsonian. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like an important part of like media history that people should be able to enjoy, and I think should be able to enjoy for free for some of it, right? Obviously, if they're selling a brand new thing, I don't think people should just go out to the store and steal the thing, but it's kind of like a good way for my kids will be able to eventually still enjoy those games, and maybe because of an event like that happening, they will be able to enjoy it, right?
There's actually a lot to unpack in what you're talking about there. I mean, there's the whole intellectual property IP kind of laws and whatnot, and then there's also the community that builds up around some of these games, and they take it on themselves to keep them alive, like you're saying, decompiled, so that they could create a native port as opposed to running it through an emulator. And there's some other ones, like going back into my era. There's one that I really liked that was called Sundog 2.0 Frozen Legacy. It was like an open world game that in like 1983. It's like, what? We didn't have that kind of terminology. But fascinating game. And you've got a spaceship and you're flying around, and you could like walk around your spaceship and repair stuff.
Oh wow!
In fact, you'd have to
In
repair stuff.
1983.
Yeah.
Pretty
Now it
big.
wasn't first person, so I mean,
What was it on?
I played it on an Apple II, I believe that was. Yeah, I believe it was an Apple IIe. I would play it again a few years later on an Atari ST. Anyway, not really the point. Yeah, people are going to look it up and be like, huh.
Pretty cool.
Looks like trash, Jerry.
Nah, for the time though.
We have color nowadays, Jerry. You should try that sometime. But there's a whole community that came up or has tried to revive that game, and so they built a new version of it. However, they ran into IP issues, and they weren't clear as to who owned the IP. Can we release this? What can we do? So that game, the remake of it, is actually finished, but they can't do anything with it.
Can't release it yet.
Right.
Until the licensing runs out
Yeah,
or something?
and it's been like 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
On like, so where's the IP at? Nobody knows. Who actually owns this? That the guy who wrote it back then. Then I think it was a company called FTL. Who owns FTL now? And then who owns that? And who owns that? And who owns that? It all changes. So who actually owns it? Anyway, it's really fuzzy. But you can get the remake if you go to their beta testing and sign up for it, and you have to sign a non-disclosure.
Right.
Basically saying you will not show this to anybody.
Have you played it?
I cannot answer. I'm under a non-disclosure.
You can't even tell me if you've played it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
But speaking of ownership, that's an interesting thing that you mentioned, because there's a recent kerfuffle with Sony
like
right
that word.
now. Sony, you might have seen this. Sony has declared that in 2028 they're going to be done with physical media.
I have seen such a creature.
It's gone. And I was kind of lamenting that over the weekend. I had Isaiah over, and
I bet he had some thoughts about it.
He actually had probably the best grounded response I've heard
From him or just in general?
From about this, and it's that, do the physical discs you currently have for Sony even mean you own anything to begin with? And that's pretty interesting, because funny enough, for the PS5 and some games for PS4, maybe all of them, the disc is just kind of saying that here's the key to a license that you have to be able to play this game. I mean,
they do all have a EULA on them.
Yeah, you kind of have to go back to the PS3 to be like, you can grab this PS3, you can get this disc and just play this game without you own this disc, you own this game, right? And it's just interesting, the conversation about ownership and how, do we actually own this thing? And it's just kind of cool to see that come back to the forefront. I think, and like I said, I was lamenting losing the physical discs, but after that, I kind of looked into it a little more and realized, like, it isn't about this physical thing. If I actually owned the game, I could put it on whatever physical media I want. Right? It comes down to ownership, like digital ownership. Do I actually own this game? And that I know that we don't right now, but I want it to move in that direction, to be like, let me own my stuff that I bought. I don't want to tell them this, but even if I had to pay a little more,
right,
let me own it. Let me put it where I want it. Let me actually be able to manipulate it and change it. And And if I did want, like, let's say I got like a Ratchet and Clank game, what if I wanted there to be like Nefario in it if he isn't? I should be able to do that if I own it. I can put him in that game even if he isn't, right? And that's the cool, interesting thing about modding games and things like that, where it's kind of in this interesting gray area of like, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to mod this game because you don't actually own it. But if you step back far enough, when you actually bought like a physical cart and things like that, Nintendo even said, if you have this physical cart for this N64, you can take it off that cart and store it how you wish, which means you technically own it, right?
Right.
Which is, I feel like we need to go back to that. We need to own things digitally. We need to own them. And like, you have good companies like, is it Green Man Gaming? Is that what they're called? Or GOG? I can't remember which one it is.
GOG.
Is it GOG?
Good old games.
Good old games, maybe,
yeah.
where it's DRM free.
DRM free.
So you own that game. You can put it wherever you want, right? And it kind of makes me wish that I had thought about that, because I play a lot of my games on Steam, so it's kind of like a popular place to keep your games. But I know that for all the games that I've bought, I don't actually own them through Steam.
Right.
Some of them I own because I have the physical orange box still, when they did like the Portal, Team Fortress 2, and some other stuff on the orange box. But a lot of the games that I've like purchased over the years, I don't actually own them, and I feel like it would be really, really, really neat to readdress that and be like, okay, what do we actually own as a consumer when it comes to games specifically, and movies
or music?
And music, anything, any sort of digital media, do I own it and can I change it? Right? Obviously, I understand that if I own something digitally, I shouldn't just give it away.
Right.
Like, you used to be able to do with old like PlayStation games and things like that. You could burn them to a disc and give them to your friends. But I mean, even when we were talking the other day, we were talking, I think we were talking about books, and we were saying, there's ways to find a book, read it, and if you like it, then buy it. Right? I just think I think that is a great way to go about it. And for people that, I want to say kind of people that are responsible enough to, or have the means to, they can enjoy a piece of media that is made for people to enjoy, and then they can pay for it when they can, right? Or like, so for like Tabletop Simulator, I can test out an entire board game on there using the Steam Workshop. And then there's been plenty of times where I'm like, well, I really like this game. I'm going to go buy it now. I'm going to find their website and I'm going to buy this game, even though I can already play it on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
And I might not ever even open the physical version, but I liked their game so much, I'm going to now buy it. Surely there has to be like something that tells them, like, it's a little bit of like, you have to kind of like trust the customer a little bit with it, right?
I mean, there is so much in there. I'm just going to focus on one small piece of what you're talking about there.
Right.
I think for me personally, I really prefer going digital, because now all of a sudden I don't need all these shelves for all this stuff. So I like that, as well as not, how many times oh man, I lost that cart, or back when I was a teenager, how many times did I have to rebuy a cassette because I played it so many times that it was worn out. So I mean, I like the digital component, but specifically with games, I'm going to use books for a second, and then I'm going to go back to the games part. But specifically with games, I think that the game industry has kind of dropped the ball on something, and the book industry has been like just doing books, and they're like, look at this ball sitting right here, and they picked up this ball and they went like, dude, this is a cool ball. And if you're not a book reader, you're like, Jerry, I have no idea where you're going with this. But if you are a book reader, you might have an idea. And if you're not, go to a bookstore or go to Walmart or whatever. Start looking at these at books particularly the hardcovers, and you're going to find that the edges are colored. That you put, if it's a trilogy, the bindings are all going to form some picture or something. This presentation. The game industry used to have that back in the big box era.
Right, yeah.
You got a wonderfully decorated box with
And a
a
manual.
manual.
Yeah.
And the manual wasn't just push A, push B. There'd be
Lore.
stories, there's lore, there's even copyright protection stuff. What's it say on what's the third word on the second paragraph of page 17? Or things like that. Posters. There's a game I played a lot back when I first got married called Aces of the Deep, where you were actually a German U-boat commander. Fascinating concept. At that time, I had just recently watched the movie Das Boot, which really opened my eyes to what it was like to be involved in the German U-boat side of things. But anyway, that game came with a map. Yay big, and it showed the Northern Atlantic with the quadrants and all of that. So when I was playing that game, that sat on my desk, and it had rings of coffee cups all over it. And there was a story that was on this map, and we don't have that with the digital stuff.
No.
To the extent that we used to. And the book industry has picked that up. So for me, I read a lot on my Kindle, or I do a lot of Audible stuff. And if I like a book, I then go buy the hardcover, and it goes on my bookshelf. I call them my book badges, my book trophies. They're not to be read because I don't want the pages.
You can read them digitally.
You can go. If somebody comes over and say, "Hey, Jerry, can I borrow that book?" It's like, no, you cannot. But Audible has it, or
that's
whatever.
That's a trophy.
That's my badge. No, you can't have it. That's mine. I think that this trend towards the digital kind of lost some of that, and you do see it coming back, like with the rise of LPs.
Right, vinyls and
so it's not just the album cover, but now they're decorating you can buy Prince's Purple Rain, and it's on a purple vinyl.
Right.
And it's like, it wasn't originally. I have the original because I am that old, but that's not the way it was originally. Or Fleetwood Mac's Rumors or things like that. You see that trend coming back, but it's not happening in the game industry unless we're talking about the $500 collector's editions that come with the statues, and after you play the game and you've moved on, eventually that statue has to move off your shelf,
right? Yeah,
to make room for your new statue. So it's not the same, really.
Why do you think it? Do you think it's because books have been in this digital world for longer?
I don't
just
think they have
moved around.
I mean, I don't think ebooks have been around longer than the digital
downloads and stuff.
I think that I don't really know. I mean, other than, hey, this is just going to be Jerry's ranting lunatic old man opinion. But I think that too many people still view the consumer of the game industry as a teenager living in their basement, their parents' basement, and not coming to grips with the fact that actually the ones who have the money to spend are not 13-year-old kids.
Right.
They are their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, 60s. Those are the ones that have the money. So just by undervaluing your consumer base, you're assuming that your consumer base doesn't value these type of things. And I think we did see it in the book industry with when the Kindles first really exploded, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're all on the Kindle." There was a real drop in the quality of books, but now there's times I go to the bookstore and it's like, I don't even know what the book is. I'm like, that book is so pretty. I just want to put it on my bookshelf.
Right, yeah.
And
I saw a nice Lord of the Rings collection when I was on vacation. So.
And in books we have, because oddly enough I collect books because I'm Jerry. Welcome to my world. But you can get leather-bound editions. You can get classic first editions. You can get antique books. So there's kind of this whole culture built around it. So I think that with the ebook, once people are like, "Hey, do you remember that there's people who collect books?" not ebooks, but books. That brought it back. Signed books and things like that. But for whatever the reason, game consumers just don't get that love. Music consumers are getting it. Book consumers are getting it. Movie consumers are getting it. We're starting to see a return of good, not just getting digital movies, but quality presentations,
like actor collections. I saw a Jackie Chan like collection today. I thought that was pretty interesting, where it was like it was focusing on an actor. And it was like, here's a Jackie Chan collection. I was like, heck yeah.
And it's something that it's like, hey, this would look good on my shelf. Even if I'm just going to play the digital, this is going to look cool on my shelf.
Right.
It's bringing back that kind of thinking. One of my favorite movies is Casablanca from the 40s, and there's a collector's edition that has like a whole bunch of gimmicky things that I would just keep in the box. But the game industry used to do that.
Yeah.
They don't anymore. And in my opinion, it's this undervaluing of what their consumer base is. It's thinking that their consumer base doesn't want that. And just because I prefer my games in digital format, so that way I don't have to use shelf space, if it's a game that really touches me or impacts me, I do want to find some thing to put on my shelf. To be like,
physical
I
thing.
experienced this. That way people who come to the house or whatever they go to your house and they can see things that you've experienced. With all my games being digital, you can't.
Right. Yeah. Don't know what kind of games you're into because I don't see them on the shelf.
Yeah, but you do know what kind of games I'm into.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
if you were going into a new friend's home,
yeah,
and they just got digital games,
and those become conversation pieces. It's like, oh yeah, I read that book too, or oh, I've played that game too. They become conversation pieces, and I don't know. Maybe it's just a coming together of a whole bunch of things. But to me, it really is just, our gamer consumer base they don't want this.
Well,
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either, especially since there was like a kind of a backlash recently with the GTA 6 game coming out, how it's not going to have any physical media at all. Like even if you buy the case that says GTA 6 on it, inside of it is a code. That's it. So it's kind of weird like that, where it's like, oh man, that's kind of weird. And the strange thing is, as far as the game manuals, I've noticed that some indie games now, when you buy an indie game, they will have a digital manual that's fully, the art's all done in it. And you can read it through it kind of like you would a manual. And technically they're PDFs, so you can print them out.
Yeah. You're talking about the indie game industry and Kickstarter and that whole side of things. It's like that group is like, hey, you remember what we loved about games? We're doing it again.
Yeah, we're doing it again.
And it's like, yeah, dude, I'm throwing my $50 at you.
Exactly. Like I support that. I want that. And I really do think that, I mean, we could dive deep into why games are the way they are, but I feel like indies, like you said, they grew up playing games, and they kind of want it to be like that again. And the other thing is that the gaming industry is as far as money is concerned, it's more profitable than movies, it's more profitable than music. And I think that's probably why it's got these people that don't know anything about making games, but they do know a thing about making money, and they've gotten involved and kind of tried to strip it down into its bare form of make games, sell it to consumer, instead of make this art that you want to play and sell it. It's kind of become games like in the early 2000s and all the way up to the 2010s even were made for you to have fun. And now they're made to make money. A lot of like AAA games are made to make money, and they're just never going to happen. They're just never going to make money.
Yeah, you wait until the gold edition comes out, because then it has the season 1 pass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like then you actually have the complete game that's patched with the first wave of DLCs.
You actually have the game, even though you don't own it.
Yeah, I just picked up Star Wars Outlaws the other day, and it's like, okay, it's got everything. I'm ready
now
to
that
play
the game is done, you can play it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but I do think the almost like on a side note is that the games are like a gateway drug into IT security programming and all of that. The number of people who got into whatever they're doing in IT because of games, I got into the dark side of security because I wanted to play games at a time I couldn't buy games because I was 13, I couldn't afford it. How do I get them? You learn how to pirate them.
Right.
You learn how to remove borrow one and remove the copyright protection from the code, and you start learning how to do this out of necessity, and then that eventually is like, oh, you mean I can do other things with this?
Right.
It's like, yeah, you could. We'd prefer you learn how to stop people, be a good guy. But or how many people get into programming? I want to be able to make a game.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole graduate thesis in AI was because I wanted to improve. I wanted to at least look at potential avenues of improving AI for video games.
Right.
And as a result of that thesis work, I came to understand why you kind of can't do that. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And even for our club here on campus, like some of our club members played older games and they're like, hey, I wonder, can we get Black Ops to run in here? And I'm like, well, to what extent would you like? Well, I would like to do multiplayer and stuff. And I'm like, well, we got to figure out how to set up a server and how to get this computer to actually run the game at like a steady frame rate and all that sort of thing. So they discover like, all right, so here's a version of the game on archive.org. So technically it's abandonware. And so we can play that. Let's put that onto our FTP server. Let's go around to every computer, put it on each computer through the FTP server. Now we're going to have to figure out, okay, now we need a server to run the game. So let's get the server actually running through command line. So they're figuring out how to, they want a game to work, so they're figuring out IT solutions in order for the game to work.
So they're using what they learn in the networking and the command line type classes to be able to make a game work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. That's neat because it's I guess it's no secret that a lot of IT folks kind of like similar things.
I don't.
Gaming is one of them.
I don't game.
You game. You do game.
I need to have a deeper. I don't game.
Yeah,
I think that's as deep as I go. I'm pathetic.
You were playing a game earlier.
I was
when
not.
We sat down. You were looking at Pikmin. I saw it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Besides, you don't send me any mushroom battles. I don't like you anymore.
What? I haven't run into a mushroom battle in a couple of weeks. I've been lazy.
Yeah.
More or less, it's been like I don't want to go anywhere because my skin will melt off.
I mean, it has been not chilly.
It's been hot.
That's another word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank the Lord for AC. Goodness gracious.
Even that. Yeah, I've got a weather station because with my amateur radio, I'm also involved in Skywarn, which is national weather. So when you have extreme weather, you don't have to be an amateur radio person to do Skywarn. I just do. But anyway, National Weather Service, when there's extreme weather, will activate Skywarn to give them information. If you've ever been watching the news and like, yeah, there's quarter-size hail on, I don't know, Wilkesboro Street.
Right.
How do they know that? Because there's somebody who lives on Wilkesboro Street who has reported it to
that's in
National
Skywarn.
Weather. Yeah, that's part of Skywarn.
Oh.
I mean, there's other ways they know it as well, but yeah. So like Skywarn will activate, and it's like, so there's strong thunderstorm. We had some strong thunderstorms move through last week, I believe it was.
Yeah, there was a couple.
There were.
Made my power go out.
It affected me not at all. But yeah, so Skywarn gets activated, and you report, this is the temperature, this is rainfall, this is wind speed, this wind direction at my location.
Oh,
and
wow.
then they kind of compile,
triangulate,
and get all that information together and really start figuring stuff out. Anyway, so I have a weather station. Not that you need one, but and not that you need to be in Skywarn to have a weather station, but I have one. And generally speaking, last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Yeah, those 3 for sure. We're like hitting 112 degrees
Whoa,
about 5, 6 in the afternoon.
really?
Now, the sun might be beating down on it, having an impact on that,
Yeah.
radiated heat, not just true air temperature. But at the same time,
You mean if you got a driveway and you got your car out there, it's like 120 degrees.
yeah.
in
I
there.
specifically have it on a field, so it's not getting
Mm.
radiated heat from concrete, but you're still getting radiated heat.
But I mean,
on
most
it.
people have a driveway,
Yeah, they do.
whether or not it's gravel or not, and that will heat up more than.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it was really hot out there where your car is if it's outside.
So the heat index at the house, coming on like 7:30 in the evening last week was usually about 115, 120 was the heat index.
That's crazy.
So it's like, thank God for air conditioning. Like my air conditioners were going, dude, we're fixing to just die.
Yeah. And my kid's room is like in the second floor now. And up there, it was, and we thought that there might be something wrong with the air conditioning. We don't have curtains on that side of the room yet. And I was telling my wife, I was like, I guarantee you it's because the curtains weren't up here. And it was like 76 degrees up there. And so when we were putting them to bed, we were like, man, it's a little hot in here. Now the rooms were kind of chilly because they do have curtains in there. So I was telling her, I was like, gosh, we got to get on this curtain deal because it's just letting the sun's beating.
Yeah, all
up
week
there.
last week, 1:30, close all the blinds.
Yeah.
On the west side of the house.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was telling my oldest son about that because he's down in Charlotte having issues as well. And I was like, dude, you need to close the blinds. He's like, what's that going to do? Like, dude, it's going to keep the sun out.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever seen Toy Story?
Yeah. So, it makes a difference. Then he did it, and he called me back the next day. He was like, dude.
It's like 10 degrees cooler.
My air conditioner didn't explode yesterday. I was like, yeah, you need to do that. It makes a difference. Did it, like, make the house cold because of it? It's like, well, no, but.
Changes that temperature in there.
You get a difference between 71 and 76, for instance.
It honestly was like 8 degrees.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Yeah,
it's kind of wild. I hope folks are staying safe out there because it was kind of wild.
I know some regions up in the Northeast were having issues.
I saw that there were like traffic lights that were melted. How does that happen? That's crazy.
I don't know. My first thought is somebody learned how to use After Effects.
I mean, it's possible that it was like AI or whatever. And there's also, I don't know if it's in Vegas or something, but someone has essentially made a death ray because the sun, it's like a, what is it? It's convex when it like curves in like a, that's
concave.
Like a concave or convex. Either way,
yes.
It was a building that's shaped, imagine
I think it curves like this. I think that's concave.
Yeah.
Because my skateboards back in the 80s were concave, and they had that curve.
And
where
convex is out then.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I think so.
So it's concave.
What if I just flip it over? Then my.
Oh, yeah. You're right. That's convex. Yeah. Either way, a guy made a building that's like glass, and it was shaped like a skateboard ramp, right? A half pipe. And apparently there's a certain time of the day where they like it will melt people's shoes to the ground when the sun meets that point. It like essentially focuses the sun like a beam.
At a focal point.
Oh my gosh.
That does not sound safe.
It's crazy. It reminds me of Ghostbusters. Like the guy had to know what he was doing when he made that.
I would think so.
That's crazy. Because and there's people that will be walking in with groceries and it'll just melt their plastic bags.
I would not be happy.
That's crazy.
That's I'm not happy.
So stay safe out there. I think
I feel like, are you segueing into something right here?
we have a good episode, Jerry.
Okay, so we're gonna stay safe. Do you want
to sign us off like you usually do?
All right. Well,
you did so good last time. It was awesome.
All right. Well, I guess we're done here, aren't we? So thanks for joining us, and just remember, let's skip dangerous and Panda out.
Woo.